Hi everybody, it's Donna here, and I am here doing my first YouTube video. I The inspiration for this video is to show the projects that I've been working on for my daughter's wedding. I haven't crafted in years, in 20, 30 years, and so I only started about 5 months ago or so in making these projects for my daughter and for her wedding. So what I started off with, this first project today is a vintage fabric lace book, and there's a little bit of a twist in it, whereby it is got some family photos in it versus vintage women, that type of thing. But I'll show you. And what I'm hoping is this becomes something for her to pass down, um, maybe an heirloom piece, and I'm hoping that this protection that I've got it in will get it through the years. And you know, I'm hoping it goes down through the family. So her wedding is the end of May. It is in Massachusetts. It's at the Plymouth Plantation. So it's very vintagey. It's a garden wedding. And if you can't tell from my accent, I'm originally from Massachusetts, however, currently living in New Hampshire. So um, to start off, I've got this hat box that I purchased from a company actually in New Hampshire. I had it made due to the specifications of the lace book, which started out small and ended up very large like everybody else's. Um, and I picked out the fabric for it. I wanted something that kind of looked wedding but vintage. So I got this, and when I got it home, I decided to embellish the top Victorian looking. And so I was able to find this trim, this tassel trim at Joann's, I believe, and it matched it perfectly. I couldn't have picked out a better trim. And as you can see under the trim, I also added some crystals here. So we have a row of crystal trim here as well. And so this here, when the tassels come over, it just sparkles from underneath. I then went over it with some flat back pearls, and that's all I did um, to the lid. And so on the inside, I do have a protective pillow. I kind of call it a dust cover. And this dust cover, basically, I got the inspiration and the idea from this, from my grandmother. When she came over from Ireland, she brought her Irish linens with her. And she had two round discs, and the discs sandwiched in between them some doilies. Um, Kept them flat. And so I have that disc, and so I was inspired by that in terms of protecting this piece in here. So what this is, it has a tab here just like hers did, and you just lift it right off. And just to show you, there is wedding dress applique here. Actually, this is a whole piece from a wedding dress. I did get a wedding dress at a thrift store for $50, and it had tons and tons of applique and the satin alone. Um, it was beautiful. So that's what I used here. And as you can see, you're going to see some color differences here. This is like a tan, and this is like an ivory. And this tan was on the dress. Actually, it was the perimeter of the train was trimmed out in tan. So I took this, and just to give a little interest in the pillow dust cover, I did use a couple of layers of lace around the edge and trimmed it out with flat back pearls. And on the back, it's just a very simple, very soft satin, just to keep the lace book protected. So that is the pillow cover. Okay, and just to show you the inside, I did make another pillow and put a ruffle around it so my little lace book sits right on that little pillow. Keeps it from bouncing around in the hat box. Okay, so to start, this is the front of the lace book. I can't tell you how many times in making this, I've put things together, I've taken it apart. I put something else on, I took it apart. Like I said, I tend to be a perfectionist, and this is a labor of love. It took many, many hours, but I think my daughter will appreciate that. So on the front, I've got some pink organza flowers here, a couple of those, a little satin flower down in the corner here. I also have a green flower, organza flower that matches the other two. Again, soft sage and very soft rose. And the lace is beautiful. Um, you know, it speaks for itself. I do have a wedding dress applique here. Oops, right here. Um, that I think I tea-dyed, it looks like. But just this lace piece itself on the front cover is beautiful. And again, like everybody else's, it's just layers and layers and layers of lace. On the sides here, the book is kept closed because I do have a satin ribbon here. And as you can see, it's got one of those little bling belt pieces. And so just by tying it up, it keeps it closed very nicely. On the side here, yep, I've got a dangle that I made. And I use some pearls and a tassel and some trims that are throughout the book. On the spine, I have a wedding dress applique there. I think you might be able to see it. Push this out of the way here. So there's the spine, and I made this little piece here at the top. I did hand stitch this tassel on, but there's the wedding dress applique underneath. So, and I don't want this video to be too lengthy, so I'm going to try to go through this as quick as possible. I will be showing this again in September because there's one page that is not done in here because it is for my daughter's wedding photograph. And so once we get those developed, I will show it when it's completely done. But when you see her page, you'll know what I mean. So I'm doing my little satin ribbons. We'll open the first page. So here's the first two pages. I'll show them together. And I may bring the camera up for a close-up shot. But this one here, this is the first page. You're going to see wedding dress appliques. These were coffee dyed. I've got a little mulberry flowers here, a little bit of a antique looking jewelry piece, some more appliques, a banner here that comes across which says maternal grandparents, February 21st, 1954. That's my mom and dad. My dad's still alive. He's 85. I lost my mother about 5 years ago. So I think this will be special for her, you know, to know that she has her grandparents in that. The second page is my in-laws. And so this is my mother-in-law and my husband's dad, and again a banner here which says paternal grandparents and their wedding date of November 24th, 1951. And here I have a vintage looking jeweled piece, another little piece up here, some porcelain lilies, and they match down here as well, another piece here. On the bottom, we've got the fringe. I've got the crystals, as you can see on the bottom of that, the crystal fringes. So they also have a little bit of lilies here coming out of the side of theirs, as does this one. This one here also has that as well. And there is a little lace flower that I made with a little center and some fringe coming out of that. So if I can take this camera down for a second, I will show you. There we go. So that is page number 1 and page number 2. Now these photographs are not on photo paper and they're not on fabric. They are on a photo canvas. So it's a little bit more durable. It's not a paper. And what I do in between is I just place a doily in between each one when this is closed to protect from all these jewel pieces so that the photographs don't get scratched. Okay, the next page is, this is my page. So this is her dad and I on our wedding day. Um, and let's see, this is just a beautiful piece of lace. It is just gorgeous. It's one whole piece and it just framed our picture so nicely. And this piece comes right up onto the frame as well. And here it says Mom and Dad and the date. I made one of those doily flowers there. Little button here. I've added some pearls intermittently on this lace. I didn't want to overdo it because I really thought this uh, speaks for itself. It is so beautiful. This is a vintage 1920s piece that my aunt gave me that I wanted to include in the book as well. And again, you know, tons of lace and doilies and just lovely. I'm very happy how this came out. This next page here, I don't know if, there we go, get the glare off. If you can see. Again, it's lots of laces. But this here, it says the bride and the groom, and this is the unfinished page. I did want to put at least that there, so when she opens it up, she'll see that there will be a spot for her and her husband to go in this lace book as well. Also, where this is the wedding page, she really has, I don't know if you can see that, a beautiful applique. Oops, let me grab this up a little higher. Applique on the bottom here. It is just gorgeous with pearls and some embellishments I've added. I mean, this just hangs right off the page. So when the book is closed, you see this hanging off. And that is her page. So, yeah, she's got all kinds of pieces in there. And again, layers and different types of laces. I mean, I just had a ball putting this together. So anyway, so that's her page. The next page is just a vintage bride. Um, it's funny, I had already put this vintage bride in here, and when she came to me about her veil, this is one of the pictures that she showed me of the type of veil she wanted, and I just couldn't have been better for me to see it here. But as you can see around the face, that little bit, I put some bling on the veil. And let's see here, I've got a little bit of a bib type thing here that I made with, she's got a little dangle of pearls and a couple of little flowers that pick up the flowers here and the color tones in the picture. And then here, this lace here, this was from her grandmother. So she's got some of her grandmother's lace in here. I had asked my mother-in-law if she had any lace, and actually this came from an old pillowcase that was trimmed out in that lace that she got from an older woman many, many years ago, probably 50 years ago. So she's got some of her grandmother's lace here. So this is that page. And the last page is her, oops, get it in there. Come on, Donna. There we go. This is her pocket page. And so here I have a doily in the back. And as you can see, this is her pocket. And I have another organza flower with a couple of doilies behind it here. And she's got two types of fringes. She's got this little short fringe here and then this long fringe here. And as you can see, and I hope you can see all right. It looks awful glared, but anyway, that is her pocket page. So on this page, what I have is I'm going to turn her wedding invitation around. well, I guess I could do it like this so you don't see the names. But anyway, so this is her wedding invitation, which is very vintagey, and that slides in. So just to put the back, and you'll see this is going to go in here. Along with the respond card for her invite. I also have her her shower invitation as well, which we're having a little vintage tea. That's going to be in pocket page, and her save the date card. Whoops, there we go, the save the date card. And so that will also be in there as well. The other thing that I have done for her is to go in her pocket page is I have put together a bunch of photographs. Actually, the photographs that are in here, I've made little separate ones so that if they ever get damaged, she's got these to scan and put them in, or whomever at the, who knows. And these can also go right into this pocket page too and be there for her for the future. And then finally in the back, I put a vintage, actually this is on fabric, some vintage lovebirds. We've got the lace around it, layers of lace around it. And, it's just beautiful. And I hope she likes it. And so here is again the little round piece to tie it all together and keep it secure. So that's my lace book that I was so intimidated about doing, but I have to tell you, it was so therapeutic, and as I started doing it, it was so much fun. And I just loved it. And so I'm going to be making some more of these now that this is done and the pressure's off. I'm going to do some others that are going to be fun, maybe with some vintage ladies, and I will post those. What I would say is keep watching, because I also made her bouquet, and I will be posting that. So that's it for now. Bye-bye.